All right, I made it out to Union Bridge,
Hey.
which is not that far. I'm with
No.
Peggy Magnanelli. Horses healing humans.
Yes.
So I've known you for a while.
Yeah. Paul
Paul Florimbio.
Florimbio introduced us many years ago.
Yes. While you were in the throes of real estate.
Right.
And then I was just saying, I remember when you announced you had bought this property.
Right.
And I told you I didn't even realize that this was the goal, but this was always your goal.
Yes.
And so you have a farmette, I would call. Yeah?
Right,
How many acres do you have here?
8.5 acres.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's like my parents' place. So
yeah, it's just big enough for the two of us to handle, to take care of. My husband keeps the grounds.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work.
It is a lot
It's
of work.
a lot of work, and it is 24/7, 7 days a week, having a property like this with horses.
Yeah,
But the ultimate goal is healing people.
correct.
And equine therapy, I don't know if I was as familiar with it back in the day. It is exploding.
It is exploding.
And it's
finally
so good. Yes,
Yes,
right. A lot of
finally.
people have been at the forefront of trying to get this equated to a true therapeutic program.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of organizations similar to yours, but there's so many people that need the help.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. When I hadn't ridden in almost 50 years, and 2020 taught me, hey, now's the time. No more excuses. Shut up and do it. So I thought, I'll start over. I found the universe put me in front of the right riding instructor. And he I'd only been there 3 or 4 weeks, was brushing my horse out at the end of the lesson the week before he had gone out of town for training. So I said, hey, how was your training? He lit up like a Christmas tree talking about it.
Oh, wow.
I had never really heard about equine-assisted therapy.
Yeah.
And this was 4 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, we talked for probably an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Would have talked longer, but his next lesson showed up.
Gotta go.
And so I started doing a deep dive. I probably read 20 books, all these case studies, and I'm like, this is absolutely amazing. And I never before in my life have I felt like this is something you have to do.
Yeah, you were really drawn to it.
Oh yeah.
Really.
And I married the nicest man on the planet who knew
allowed you.
nothing about horses at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think the closest he had been to a horse was, the little horses in front of the
You drop a
dime
quarter
store.
in.
You drop a quarter in. Yes, that was the closest he'd ever been to horses.
Yeah.
And, he was like, I told him what I wanted to do. He said, do I get to get a tractor?
I need the
And I'm
toys.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a vehicle guy.
Yeah.
He's a vehicle guy. So, I'm like, yeah, you get a tractor. He's like, okay, let's do it.
What a great guy.
And I was like, oh, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. So, we started out with our first horse and a donkey. We now have 4 full-size horses, a mini donkey, and a mini horse.
Yeah.
So the mini horse is really, really good for people who are intimidated by the size.
Yeah.
Because they're 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, you could be intimidated for sure.
Yeah. So Lily is our little one. She's the one right over there.
All right. So how do people get to you, or are you working through an organization to get referrals, or people come direct? How does that work?
So I have a website, but I work mostly with therapists.
Okay.
So the therapists bring their clients out
They
here.
identify the
They
things.
identify that this is, especially somebody's really stuck.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, especially veterans, first responders, ER nurses, 911 dispatchers, fire, EMS, talk therapy is very difficult. They don't open up, but this is experiential.
Yeah.
And what goes on with the horses kind of mirrors what's going on with you. And so you can see it from here.
Yeah.
So like you see what's going on and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And so creating a relationship with a horse who is 1,000 pounds, nonverbal.
Yeah.
They communicate energetically and they communicate with body language. So you've got to be 100% present in the moment like they are.
Yeah.
And when you're working with veterans groups and people like, and the first responders, they're hyper vigilant, and so are the horses.
Yeah.
Because they're hardwired to think that everything's out to kill them.
Yeah.
Because they're prey animals.
Yeah.
And their first instinct is to leave.
Yeah.
They don't fight back.
No.
They leave first.
Yeah.
We're predators.
Yeah.
So for somebody for a human to create a relationship with a horse is very special.
Yeah.
And they have this really cool thing. We all have like an energetic bubble. So we're standing a comfortable couple feet away from each other.
Yeah.
Our little bubble is about 3 feet.
Yep.
Well, their bubble is 10 feet.
Oh, wow.
So they can feel you.
Yeah.
And their heart is 5 times the size of ours.
Yeah.
So that's their little energetic bubble, but they can feel like 50 feet away.
Yeah.
So they know I'm coming out of the house before I walk out the door. I walk out the door and they're looking up, where's my breakfast?
You're late.
You're late. We're starving to death out here.
That's right.
We haven't had anything to eat in at least 3 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it is true, and it's funny because before there was a name for it, I grew up around horses, and I always told my friends who came over to ride, they feel everything you feel.
Yes.
So if you're nervous or afraid, they are going to get that energy. So relax.
Exactly.
Let that, and so I never even knew that that's what that was. I just knew how the horses reacted if you were crazy or, being all wired or whatever. They just take that energy and they feel it. So,
exactly.
And it is amazing, even with my friends when we were kids, to watch somebody get in sync with a horse because you can see the moment it happens. It's actually quite amazing to watch it. But I'm so glad that people, especially the ones you guys are reaching out to, because like you say, for a lot of people who are in these traumatic, daily, stressful situations, the talking isn't enough, and it's not sincere in the sense that they're guarding, they're protecting their jobs, their reputations, and all of that, which is fair enough.
Right.
But when you're out here and that animal can't talk back, it can't judge you, but it feels you.
Yes.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah, it is huge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
I had a friend out. We were doing a practice demonstration for a group of therapists. And she's an Army veteran, was an interrogator in Iraq, and has lots of issues. She will fully admit it. And so the therapist and she had just gone to Costco. So she was very anxious. She says, I don't like crowds. I'm like, you went to Costco on Sunday afternoon? Hello? But so we did a grounding exercise to kind of get her out of her head and into her body first. And that's one of the biggest things, because we as humans live in our heads, not in our bodies.
Yeah.
So getting her grounded into her body. And she went out, and at the time we only had 4. And they lined up single file for her and walked up one at a time. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That's wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've never seen them do that before or since.
Yeah. That's
was
what
just,
she needed then at the time. It's
and
really
the horses
nuts.
just know.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
And, one of my horses just stood with her and held space for her as long as she wanted.
Yeah.
And it must have been 20 minutes or a half hour.
Yeah.
The two of them just hung out.
Yeah.
And
that's another great thing about the horse, right? They're not on a schedule or timing.
No, they're not at all.
That's right. Yeah, unless it's feed time. But
yes, that's true.
That's really awesome. So if you're working with a therapist or something like that, you may mention that maybe equine therapy is for you, and they can look into programs that thankfully we have, like I said, several, but certainly yours would be one of them.
I'm in touch with a couple other people in the area who do it. So if it's something that I can't handle, I'm absolutely referring them out to somebody like Hearts of the Herd, she works strictly with elementary school kids. And she's amazing. She does a phenomenal job. Actually, my granddaughter's going to be volunteering with her this summer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
she
does a really really great.
Yeah,
things,
she does
too.
a great job,
Yeah.
and there are other groups popping up
Yeah.
all over the place. So it's
Yeah.
really starting to get traction.
Yeah.
People are really starting to see how well it works.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we
Yeah.
appreciate you having us out to your beautiful place here in Union Bridge.
We have
yeah.
retreats coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've partnered with a nonprofit called Reforge.
Oh, I love
Katie,
Reforge.
yeah.
Katie Moran.
Yeah,
We love
so
her.
we're
Yeah.
partners with them.
Nice.
They are, and we've started to get some sponsors through them for the retreats for female veterans, female first responders, either active or retired.
Okay.
And same with military, active or retired.
Okay.
And their female family members.
Okay.
So we're doing 7. We start in May.
Okay.
So 2 of them are up on the website. May and June are up on the website. I'm not the most tech savvy, so it takes me. I'm a horse girl.
Yeah,
I'm not tech
that's right,
savvy.
yeah.
My granddaughter says I'm very tech savvy for my age.
I love how she puts that
Yeah,
proviso.
a little backhanded
asterisk,
slight
right,
there.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we'll have them all
Okay.
up, and so we're really looking forward. So we'll be going through November.
Oh, very
one a
nice.
month.
Okay.
They're only $25 for the veteran. Everything else is sponsored.
Nice.
I have somebody doing a sound bath one month. We have somebody doing tapping.
Oh.
I have somebody else coming out to do Reiki.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we have a
all
lot of
kinds
different
things.
wellness type things
Yeah.
going on.
Excellent.
Yeah, just to help people feel better.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure and all of that is on our calendars, and we'll promote them as they come
Thank
up
you.
and get closer. So horseshealinghumans.org.
Yes.
Okay, horseshealinghumans.org is the website to get more information. Hey, if you want to sponsor and you want to help these veterans and first responders get healed or find some sort of peace, you should sponsor one of these great events through Reforge and Horses Healing Humans. And I'll make sure you got all the information you need, or you can reach out to myself or Peggy to find out more information as well. We thank you guys so much for watching.